Students, welcome to EPG Padashala, evaluating crime prevention. The learning objective of this module is to understand the key concept indicators in evaluating crime prevention model strategies, to acquaint with important evaluation approach of crime prevention programs, to learn the changing trend in crime preventing approaches, learning outcomes, to make the learners understand the key concept in crime prevention, to acquaint the learners with key indicators for evaluating the crime prevention models, to enrich the learners with various crime prevention evaluating approaches. This module has crime prevention evaluation model successfully tested by international and country level agencies. It is difficult to define the best among them. The best model of crime evaluation are enlisted for to be discussed here. Following are some of the important parameters with which we have to apply in the real settings. The increasing complexity brought about by modernization, overpopulation, urbanization and globalization has made crime more complex, dynamic in nature. The strategy of crime prevention require an urgent attention not only from the government but also from communities, schools, citizens and non-governmental institutions. While the prevention of crime has been anonymously agreed upon the best way to go about it, there has been several models of crime prevention which criminologists and law enforcement experts have introduced, but until now the best model is yet to be decided. Some of the major crime prevention programs are situational or social in nature, but so-called hybrid approaches or whole of government approaches also have gained popularity. In order to develop a clear appreciation of multifaceted nature of crime prevention, there is a need for a clear crime analysis, for which there are three indicators that you have to understand in crime prevention. The first is economics of crime and its prevention. The cost of crime is ever increasing. The expenditure related to crime includes policing, corrections, security industry and criminal justice system, as well hidden costs such as medical costs, compensation and loss of productivity of victim. To curb this huge cost, crime reduction is considered a feasible alternative in real time. While crime prevention became an important economic concern because it definitely pays, involves huge physical resources that includes victims and government agencies. Operational imperatives of public agencies in crime prevention. Considering the massive cost of crime, it needs to be the role played by citizens and other agencies should be very much. Policing requires a collaboration of the law enforcement structure with citizens, so-called project against crime. Participation of stakeholders in crime prevention is one of the important things. The dynamism of crime invites several stakeholders to act. As crime rates increased with demographic changes attributed to the sprawl of urbanization, migration and citizens have to learn and recognize the singular campaign by law enforcement will not be enough. Rather, public have to come together themselves into crime prevention group based in their respective communities to assist the crime prevention. As citizens became more vulnerable to crime, so did they resolve to empower themselves to prevent victimization. The importance of working with stakeholders is now firmly established in evolutionary theory and practice. During evaluation of crime prevention models recover several inputs from connected agencies, while one or combinations may work out. Identifying and involving evaluation stakeholders early in the process of planning, implementation and evaluation provides a range of benefits irrespective of evaluation approach. Evaluating of crime prevention. Evidence from a small number of comprehensive evaluation studies have demonstrated that long-term effectiveness of early intervention in achieving significant reduction in participant involvement in crime, as well improvement in areas such as educational performance, child maltreatment, workforce participation, child and youth behavior, income and substance abuse. In addition to the obvious special social benefit, these outcomes are also associated with significant financial savings both for the community and the participants. The savings produced by the early intervention programs includes reduction in welfare assistance, decreased need for special education, increase in income tax, revenue from the higher education, higher wages of participants due to improved educational attainment, reduced operational cost to the criminal justice system and reduced cost to victims. Well, there is the first approach is cost benefit approach or analysis. In taking the economic analysis, a perspective step further to access the ultimate value of the program, a cost benefit analysis may be utilized. A CBA assesses in financial terms how much society saves from impact of a program by attaching a monetary value to potential benefits and then comparing this to program cost. This equation results in unit independent benefit cost ratio, that is BCR. For example, societal saving of rupees 100 per rupees 10 of program cost. The benefit analysis is a tool that enables a comparison of the advantages and disadvantages of undertaking a particular program or policy opposed to another course of action, including doing nothing to all and applying monetary value to these advantages and disadvantages. The model 2 is benefit cost ratio approach. This method basically uses benefit cost ratio of economic model. Higher the BCR, more the success of the crime prevention model. For instance, BCR greater than 1.0 means that the program benefit of the outweighs the cost and thus produce a positive rate of return for the investment. Conversely, BCR less than 1 or the mean indicate that program costs surpass the benefit that are gained. The indicators and variables of the evaluation should be identified and appropriately be processed for better result. In simple, BCR is equal to total societal savings, benefits or averted cost or total program cost. The third model is cost effectiveness or evidence based approach. This is one of the standard model. The evidence based approach is also associated with cost effectiveness and cost saving perspectives. Regardless of the area expertise, it makes the most sense to invest in a service or program that has already been demonstrated its effectiveness. The scientific evidence on what program work in addressing risk factor in at population should be used to inform the development of project as well as in funding decisions. Investments in proving tested research based program not only lead to improved outcome but also associated with significant cost savings. One of the greatest social benefit for implementing evidence based program for at risk in youth is the cost saving provided to the public. Investing in evidence based program is the key to reducing victimization and increasing public safety while simultaneously managing correctional cost. More specifically, cost benefit analysis provides a tool for analysts and policy makers to evaluate crime prevention and criminal justice program from an economic perspective in order to guide decision regarding whether to modify, expand or terminate the project. In the United States, the Washington Institute for Public Policy has provided a credible evidence that for each dollar spent on evidence based prevention model, more than $1 worth of benefit will be generated. That is, the benefit exceeds the cost. The organization has undertaken numerous cost effective analysis and systematic comparison of crime prevention programs to inform policy decision. There are 4 steps in it. You can look at the diagram which has put on the screen. The third model is crime prevention program implementation. For example, these raises a very big question. How will participants be reached and engaged in program? Does a referral from need to be developed and used? By whom? Based on what eligibility criteria? Is management from the lead organization engaged and flexible? Is there a mandatory risk assessment tool used with the participant? Are specific qualifications required to use it? Do incentive strategies need to be developed? In case that, what types? How much money should be allocated? Budget planning is very important. Which partner must be involved? Are protocols, memorandums of understanding already in place? If not, are the roles of the responsibility of the each partner clearly articulated? Not all programs have the same degree of complexity and their implementation will therefore be affected. Implementing condition must be considered as a key element in whether or not results are achieved. Effective program implementation strategies increase likelihood of success and lead to better results for participants. Moreover, a dynamic, committed and open context, that is amenable to change with facilitate a program's integration. The third model is program logic model approach. This model describes the main activities that will be delivered as a part of the program and the relationship between these activities and hierarchy of short, intermediate, long outcomes. This helps to determine what outcomes can be reasonably attributed to the program and make the explicit the underlying theory about how a program contributes to these outcomes. This model of evaluation one of the powerful communication for criminal justice evaluation. The logic model also forms the basis of an evaluation framework which details the specific evaluation questions and performance indicator that will be measured as a part of the evaluation. This enables stakeholders to input into design of the evaluation, including data collection process, which can encourage buy-in, facilitate access to data and identify and address potential barriers to conducting the evaluation. The next model is Canadian approach. This is another important model, a successful model in order to build a body of Canadian knowledge of effective crime prevention programs and efficient implementation strategy. Strong process and impact evaluation should be conducted together in a more systematic manner. In addition to ensure adequate implementation, strong monitoring system should be established. This monitoring should ensure evidence-based programs are carried out with fidelity to their design and incorporate the elements that are critical to their effectiveness. This comprehensive model is more towards successful planning, implementation and evaluation. The very next important model is quasi-experimental design approach. To evaluate program does not preclude the use of quantitative data collection method which are another mechanism for engaging stakeholder as a part of the evaluation. In all of the evaluation described in this module, a mixed method approach was adopted combining the quantitative measurement of key outcomes, example reoffending, with qualitative method. Combining quasi-experimental research design with field, example interview or questioning, is a common approach to understanding social change, particularly among pragmatists, and offer a number of important benefits. First, these interviews can confirm through triangulation the findings from the quantitative analysis, which can add weight and credibility to the findings. Second, they can help to provide explanation and context for the finding from any quantitative analysis of key outcomes. Third, these interviews can address evaluation questions that cannot be answered using a quantitative method. Fourth, these interviews will usually be primary source of information required for a process evaluation and developing a comprehensive understanding of the program being evaluated, which is directly inform recommendation. Fifth, incorporating these qualitative approach can help to achieve buy-in from stakeholders who are less supportive of quantitative data methods. And finally, the qualitative interview can help to address the common criticism of quasi-experimental methods for lacking external validity by developing a more detailed understanding of mechanisms that underpin intervention and context in which these mechanisms are applied. There are several studies that is supporting this approach. Then the collaborative approach is one other important approach. A collaborative approach to evaluation recognizes the potential of involving program staff in the data collection process. For the purpose of the evaluation is more economical, involving program staff in this way can help increase the perceived credibility and validity of the findings and remain a threat and inspiration for participating staff. There is an inherent tension that comes with being commissioned by the people responsible for the design, management and or implementation of program to conduct the evaluation, providing an objective and independent assessment of the success of of that program can be source of conflict between program manager and evaluator, and the pressure to adjust or soften unfavorable findings is not uncommon. The goal is in evaluating crime prevention is to understand the impact of model and suggest whether it can be continued or dropped. While it is a fact that creating individual or collective effectiveness within the community and the agency is crime prevention unachievable. The important component of crime prevention evaluation is to check whether crime has reduced by bringing the people within a community together, making them more effective in eliciting services, support during evaluation. Studies have shown that once crime prevention program is implemented, actual crime rate should fall within an area. The only problem with this is that people within these communities will only take control if they have a mutual trust relationship and shared expectations of each other in implanting the suitable model for crime prevention and its evaluation. Summary of this module: the ultimate goal is in evaluating crime prevention is to check whether the crime has reduced, public feels safe in their space, and modalities to reduce the cost cutting is further implementation of the model. This requires stakeholders in evaluation as they are real enforcers of the model. These enforcers should evidence the investment on the model has promising results, while on the other hand it is mandated to check the investment and return are proportionate. The result remains with early intervention, implantation and success of the crime prevention model. Thank you.